Hello. Happy Halloween to all of you guys that like Halloween. I know I haven't made a video in a while. I have been really struggling with some health issues lately. So I have been having a very hard time the last couple of months, but I wanted to make a video because it has been a while and I have a lot on my mind that I want to share, and I miss you guys. So, in honor of Halloween, since that was my husband's second favorite holiday, Christmas was his first. But he loved Halloween. I've always loved Halloween, so I decorated my tree in the back just for you guys for Halloween. My husband got me those Halloween lights, the green and orange and purple, years ago actually, and I never used them. We were gonna do that together, but we didn't get to. So I did it for the both of us today, and wearing my pirate shirt that he gave me a few years ago. It's the most Halloween shirt I could find, so. But, yeah, my husband, he loved Halloween, so this is all in honor of him, and I miss him. I wish he were here to dress up this year and hand out candy and stuff like he loved to do. And of course, you know, we were never into any of the evil parts of Halloween. We just liked we made it our own holiday, basically. You know, Halloween doesn't have to be evil. You can make it that way, but I hope you won't, because it can be dangerous if you go that way. But you can enjoy and celebrate Halloween without getting into the evil side of it. Just make it innocent and make it your own, which is what we did. You know, we just liked dressing up, and we like scary movies, spooky movies, like, you know, not horror movies. I don't like those, but you know, we like actually Charlie Brown. Halloween I always loved. Garfield had some pretty scary Halloween movies. Anyway, we mostly just like, you know, the cute side of little pumpkins and decorating with. I love Nightmare Before Christmas, as you see. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, and yeah, we just like stuff like that. So I just wanted to check in, and this is kind of just an introduction to what I want to talk about is the connection to grief and loss as far as your health, your physical health goes. because lately I have been learning a lot about the connection between stress, grief, trauma, and illness, physical illness, not just mental illness. I went to the mast cell activation syndrome summit last week online. It was all online, but I watched that every day, and I took like 20 or 30 pages of notes, just all the doctors that came together and all of the experts, and there was just so much information. It was overwhelming, but I noticed that a big theme was the connection between chronic illness and grief and trauma and all the things that, that we've been through when we have a loss. And I just want to spend some time, maybe over the next month or so, talking about this, because I don't think enough people are aware at all. Even most doctors, sadly, are not aware. And it seems crazy to me that they're not aware of this, but I mean, these are doctors, some pretty famous doctors that I was listening to at this summit, and they will admit it too, and just say how unfortunate and tragic it has been that most doctors are not aware of the connection between your emotions, your mind, and your body. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I read a statistic that I think it said like 80% of people who have been through a loss, like losing a spouse, a parent, a child, your brother, whatever it is, whoever was closest to you that you lost, and you're traumatized by it and you're grieving over it, and this is not something that you can separate from your physical body. And doctors are becoming more and more aware of this now. And the statistic was that 80% of people who have been through a loss like this, within the first year, they're going to get sick in some kind of way. They're going to have an illness, a virus. You're going to catch a virus. You're going to have some kind of mental issue, some kind of stomach issue. You're going to have chronic pain. You're going to have fatigue. Your heart's going to be doing weird stuff. Just it's going to come up for most people. And a lot of people, they will get sick, and it's like they don't know what's wrong. It's like they don't know what's going on. They're just like, I just don't feel right. I feel awful. I feel sick, and I don't know what's wrong with me. And they don't ever think to connect it to the loss and the stress and the trauma that they've been through, the mental strain. So I just want you guys to be aware, and maybe some of you have a testimony of this. I know I've already seen it in several people, including myself, that after you lose someone, and it takes a toll on your body, and it's very easy to get sick because your immune system is really beaten down after going through something like this. Especially if there's a lot of trauma with it, like a sudden unexpected death or a really tragic death or a really, brutal death. That's traumatic, and it doesn't just mess with your mind. Whatever affects your mind affects your body as well, and vice versa. And they're learning this now more than in the past. You cannot separate your body from your mind and your emotions and your spirit. They all go together. You can't separate them. And that used to be the norm. That used to be what doctors would do, and it was wrong. And now they're slowly starting to realize that, hey, we can't, separate this illness of the body from this, mental, psychosomatic trauma. I mean, it goes together, and they each affect each other. So if your body is not doing well, then it takes a toll on your mind. And if your mind and your emotions and your spirit are not doing well, it takes a toll on your body. And so many times doctors dismiss that, and they misdiagnose people, and they just brush people off as saying it's something all in your head, when it could very well be something in your body, and vice versa. So I want to do a whole series on this, because I just think it's so important that we're aware that, after we go through a traumatic experience and all this stress and all this grief and all this heaviness, your body can only take so much, like your physical body, because your emotions directly affect your body. And it's a lot for your body to handle. And so many people, myself included, after a loss, you don't care anymore. You get depressed. You don't want to do anything. It's like you go through this phase a lot of the time where you just don't care, and you're not motivated to do anything because you're grieving, and you're sad, and you're traumatized, and you're just numb, and you don't care about taking care of yourself. You don't think about taking care of yourself. It's like it just I think a lot of times people forget, or they just struggle really hard, because it's a real thing that you don't really care about doing anything sometimes. You just, you're like, what's the point now? Who cares, And you just let yourself go. Not everyone does that, but the majority of people will do that, and it's easy because you're just looking for something to numb the pain. So, people will turn to overeating, or just sleeping too much, or drinking, or doing drugs, or taking painkillers, or, whatever. And I'm not saying that there are a lot of people out there who do need help from prescription, medication. And if you need that, then you need that. But don't do like street drugs. I mean, you can abuse prescription medications too, but the point is, some people do need extra help, and they do need to discuss that with a doctor. But a lot of times people are just covering up the pain because they don't want to face it. I've done that Many people have done that. I have heard of story after story of people who cover it up with drinking, or they just take pain medicine to numb themselves, or they eat. I've always usually turned to junk food and mindless TV to numb my pain. So it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just, people get lost in that, and then they forget to take care of themselves. And they forget that your body needs to be taken care of, especially when you're going through grief. And people don't want to do it because I didn't want to do it. I still don't want to do it most of the time, but I'm getting to the point now where I know I have to, because if I don't, it will make you sick, and it can take your life. And just constantly being in that depressed, stressed out, overwhelmed state does take years off of your life. And so I hope and I pray that I can help motivate someone out there to think about this and to make yourself actually take care of yourself, even in small ways, because whoever you lost, most of the time they probably really loved you. There are situations where people lose someone who didn't really care, I know. And that is sad. But most of you guys on here who comment, the person you lost really loved you. So if you can't do it for yourself, do it for them, because they would want us to take care of ourselves and not hurt ourselves more than we have to. Grief is unavoidable, but chances are they wanted to take care of us. And I know my husband did. His entire passion in life was taking care of me. And I don't want to disappoint him by not taking care of myself anymore. Because that was his number one goal. It was taking care of me. So I want to take care of myself the best I can. And I know you guys could probably say the same thing about whoever you lost. They want you to take care of yourself. And if they were here right now and you weren't, it would hurt them. Most likely. So I want to try to help each other take care of ourselves. And just little things, even like going outside and getting some sunshine and just breathing in the fresh air and taking time to kind of just calm your mind for a few minutes and relax outside. And if you can't go outside, then maybe you could turn on some quiet music and decorate a little area of your apartment or wherever you live, and put some flowers around, or something to just bring a little bit of joy into your room and in your environment. And so I have a list of things that I want to share with people, because I don't want you to take your health for granted, and I don't want to take mine for granted, because I already have a very debilitating chronic illness, and so I can't afford. I'm living on very little time here, so I can't afford to like trash my health, and you can't either, because people need you. If you don't have any people, you might have a little cat or a dog that needs you. Somebody needs you. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this because I've been really thinking about it. So I'm going to end this video because I don't want it to be like 2 hours long, which it could be because I have a lot of things to say. But yeah, so I will have more videos coming, and it's going to be a series. It's probably going to be like 10 to 15 just short tips on how to just do little things each day to help improve your body, your mind, your spirit, because they all go together. And so that's what I'm going to be working on this month, and I hope you will join in. And I think that's all for today. Have a safe and happy Halloween if you are Halloween people. And I will probably make another video one day this week. So I will see you then. Take care, and I love you guys. Hugs.